Don't talk about Denzel Clark for 20 minutes. Don't talk about Denzel Clark. Denzel Clark jumping over walls in the outfield. From the East Coast to the West Coast and every team in between. Welcome into Coast to Coast. It is 2026 MLB preview time. That's right. Over the next 6 episodes, we're going to be breaking down our division projections for each division, starting with the AL West today. Cameron and I did our projections separately, and for the AL West, we actually landed on the same rankings. So without further ado, starting with number 5, who else but the poor, sorrow, sad Angels. The Angels have some players that have showed some promise over the past couple of years. Zach Neto, he could be a superstar. Noah Shanua looks all right. Reed Detmers is still on the team. Logan O'Hoppe has shown some promise. But, when your big signings in the offseason were Kirby Yates, Drew Pomeranz, and Jordan Romano, just not going to cut it for me. The Angels are going to continue to really struggle.
There's not a lot to like about this team. Some guys to watch out for. Christian Moore, he was the number 8 pick in 2024. He might be getting the starting spot at second base. We'll see how his first full season in the MLB goes. Joe Adele is one to look out for. He hit 37 home runs last year. Breakout year for Adele.
Finally.
Yeah. If he can do that again and maybe draws a little bit more walks, gets that on-base percentage up, plays a little bit better defense, he could be a good trade piece for the Angels. We'll see if the Angels actually do make some moves at the trade deadline that would help their future. Seems like every year the Angels should trade away their talent, but they end up trading for other pieces outside and just continue to diminish their already bad farm system.
When they're 6.5 games out at the deadline.
When they're under 500, yeah. Kurt Suzuki is your new manager of the Angels. Always been a big fan of Kurt with his playing time in the MLB. Hopefully he can help O'Hoppe. He was bad defensively last year, and after a strong start offensively, he really declined in the second half of the season. Batting .213, .258, and a .371, slash line a -0.2 WAR is just not going to keep you behind the dish. So hopefully Kurt can help him out, make him a better defensive catcher, and O'Hoppe has a bounce back year. And then hopefully I always root for a good Mike Trout season. Crazy to think he is only 1 year older than Aaron Judge.
That's wild.
Insane.
Yeah.
So that is only to say another 40 home run season by Mike Trout. It's not wild to think about. So hopefully we see some vintage Mike Trout this year. I saw reports that he might be back in center field. That'd be fun.
That would be fun. I'm rooting for it.
This team is bad.
When the 2 biggest bright sides of your offseason are signing Kurt Suzuki as your manager and getting Anthony Rendon off the books, that's how you know you're a bottom dweller. Moving on to number 4, a much more exciting team that is on the rise.
Yeah.
We wanted to put them higher. I wanted to put them at number 1. I love them. The A's of Sacramento?
California? Las Vegas?
A's. Your
Yes.
Athletics. What a team they have.
I think they're going to have Sacramento across their chest this year.
You're fucking with me.
No.
Really?
I saw, yellow jerseys that said Sacramento.
Okay.
Kind of sick. This offense is fun. Listen to these names on this lineup. Shea Langoliers, Tyler Soderstrom, Nick Kurtz, Rooker, Butler. All these guys, no one should be shocked if they all hit 30 home runs. That's how deep and powerful this lineup is. 5 of their starting 9 guys could be hitting 30 bombs next year. Crazy. The problem for the A's comes on the pitching side of things. when Luis Severino is your ace, that's really all that needs to be said about this starting rotation. And the bullpen, try to name a guy on that bullpen. Probably can't. It's rough.
Yeah, the pitching staff is really what's preventing the A's from taking that next step. I mean, Jeffrey Springs is their number 2, Aaron Savali number 3. I actually kind of like those guys, but not as your 2 and 3. They're more 4-5 starters, so I just don't see it happening for the A's. But man, their offense is fun. And you mentioned the power bats. They've also got Jacob Wilson, an average hitter. They brought in Jeff McNeil to provide some, veteran presence in the dugout, although he's not the veteran presence I would want with his anger issues. Max Muncy could still break out, the young Max Muncy. So Denzel Clark jumping over walls in the outfield. Just a really fun team to root for, and in that ballpark, I know I'm going to be watching a lot of A's games this year.
What's helping them on their offense with this ballpark, I think, is hurting them more on the pitching side of things. Okay. So we'll see how the A's do. They're close. I just don't think they're there yet to really push for a playoff spot.
I hope we're wrong. It would be cool to see him make a jump this year.
It'd be really fun.
Just don't see it happening quite yet. All right, moving on to number 3. This one was tight. 2 and 3 are close. We settled on the Astros at number 3, though. The Juggernaut dynasty has fallen, beginning to crumble. They still have Jose Altuve. Carlos Correa is back. Don't forget about that. Some older guys, but the big question for me this year, can Yordan Alvarez stay healthy and play a complete season and get back to the player that he once was? That, for me, is really going to define their season, and maybe even their next couple seasons. It may define how they move forward as a franchise in the next couple years. So, there's other components of their offense that could work, like Cam Smith could break out. I know he had a pretty average year last year, which is good for a rookie. But I think something would have to happen, like a big Cam Smith breakout, Isaac Paredes hitting 40 home runs, Jeremy Pena becoming the superstar that he's shown spurts of being in the past. But yeah, with some of these aging players, Christian Walker too, I don't know. It just feels like they're kind of on the decline, and I don't know if they're going to be super competitive for the division.
And then the outfield is just a little ugly out there. Right now, I think it's Jake Myers, Zach Cole, Jesus Sanchez, and Cam Smith. There's just a lot of average position players out there and unproven talent that we haven't seen perform at the major league level yet. So if there's injuries that occur in their infield, then this team offensively doesn't look as good as they look on paper right now heading into the season. But the biggest question mark is this starting rotation. Because, man, I think they're going to miss Framber Valdez. Right now, you have Hunter Brown at the top, but then it's Christian Javier, who had a rough return last year from Tommy John. Lance McCullers, who had a tough return from a major injury last year as well. And then some other guys like Mike Burrows, Spencer Arrighetti.
Don't forget Amai. Amai is a big question mark.
Amai coming over from Japan. I like Amai. I thought that was a good signing for the Astros. But, yeah, you never know with a guy coming over in his first year in the MLB. Who knows? And I think they're talking about doing a 6-man rotation because Amai is only used to pitching once a week.
That makes sense. And with all these guys coming back from injuries, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
I like that.
It does. But I just don't think there's enough talent there in their starting rotation. Bullpen's good, though. Great bullpen.
Solid bullpen. One of the best in baseball.
Brian Abreu and Josh Hader.
Yeah.
Man, they'll lock down games.
Yeah.
He's got to get to the 8th.
Yeah.
So let's head into our number 2 team, the Texas Rangers. They're a lot like the Astros. I think biggest piece for them is going to be health. Can this team stay healthy? They weren't able to last year, and they had a pretty poor season. Can they stay healthy? If they can, I like their roster just a little bit more than the Astros. I mean, take a listen to this rotation. Jacob deGrom. Nasty Nate Eovaldi. Two guys who can be Cy Young contenders. Then they bring over Mackenzie Gore from Washington, just an elite strikeout artist. If he can get the whip down, look out. He could be dangerous. Then some potential guys with guys like Jack Leader and Kumar Rocker. And right now, early reports out of spring says Rocker's looking very impressive after this offseason.
Yeah, I like Rocker a lot, and I think being around MLB coaching is only going to help him with time and help his command out and his nasty stuff get even better. You know, I like the Rangers pitching staff slightly more, and I like the Astros offense slightly more. The Rangers offense also has a lot of question marks. I mean, Brandon Nimmo came over in that trade for Marcus Semien. Wyatt Langford, I really like. I think he's going to take that next step. I do think Evan Carter's going to take another step. I mean, he had a weird start where he was like an MVP in the playoffs the year they won the World Series, and he's kind of worked his way back from injury. But if he can stay healthy, he could be a really important piece to that lineup. But yeah, it doesn't have a whole lot of depth. Jock Peterson is currently like their number 4 or 5 hitter. I mean, that's a bit rough. They have some hitters in this lineup, like Josh Smith, who I like, but I just don't know where the power is going to come from in this lineup. And maybe they trade for it at the deadline if they're in contention, but it's just not.
Corey Seager.
Yeah, can you stay healthy? That's the big question. Seager, Eovaldi, and deGrom, 3 of the most injury-plagued players. Can they stay healthy?
Can they stay healthy?
If all 3 of them stay healthy, I think they're in the playoffs.
I think so too. They're kind of the opposite of the Astros. I liked the Astros infield. I didn't like their outfield. I really like the Rangers outfield. Their infield has a lot of question marks outside of Seager. So
yeah.
And our number 1 team for the AL West, it is your Seattle Mariners. Man, this team is good. This lineup looks so impressive. Headlined by players like Julio Rodriguez, Cal Raleigh, Josh Naylor, Randy Arozarena, newcomer Brendan Donovan. I even like their bench options. They went out and picked up Rob Refsnyder, just an absolute great platoon bat to have on your bench. And then that's not even talking about their pitching, which everybody said was the best pitching staff in baseball last year, and they're bringing back the same staff. I mean, Logan Gilbert, Brian Wu, George Kirby, Luis Castillo, Bryce Miller. That's crazy. Luis Castillo being your 4 and Bryce Miller being your 5 is absolutely insane. And then head to the bullpen, and you got Andres Munoz, and you got Matt. I can't ever say his name. Munoz.
Yeah, you got
it. Andres Munoz.
Hey, did it.
Andres Munoz and Matt Brash being the setup guy. The bullpen's good. The pitching rotation is good. The lineup is amazing. This is one of the best rosters Seattle has put up since the early 2000s when they won 116 games. This team is really good. But the Mariners always seem to make it exciting. They always seem to have drama at the end of their season. So even though I like them to take number 1, would I be shocked that we're in the last week of baseball and it's the Rangers or Astros right behind them playing a meaningful last weekend series game? I wouldn't.
Probably going to happen.
I wouldn't.
No, this team feels a little bit different for me. They were so close last year to get into the World Series. They're bringing back their entire rotation with even more experience for some of these young guys. And their lineup is the best it's been in years. I really like this team. I think they're going to have the best record in the American League, actually. And their bullpen has only gotten better. I mean, you mentioned Munoz, Brash. They brought over Ferrer from Washington. Bazardo pitched like 1 billion innings in the postseason last year. Spire. I mean, they have depth in the bullpen. I know Mariners fans say differently, but last year, just from the eyeball test, watching games, like they had one of the best bullpens in baseball. Mariners fans always complain because I don't know why. Because you're just stressed fans. I get it. But man, this is a fun line. I feel like the lineup, the offense is now complete, and that's kind of what's been missing in the past few years. I mean, you've already said the names. It's electric, and you've got young guys that could be breakout guys like Cole Young. I mean, Brandon Donovan's playing third base now. This is a fun team. Can Cal run it back?
Yeah,
it's going to be fun. I think they're going to have the best record in the AL.
Wow.
Because the AL East is strong. It's going to be a bloodbath in the East again, and I think they're going to beat up on each other. So
okay, man, some late night games in Sacramento. A's versus Mariners.
That's going to be great.
It's going to be some good...
After the Mets game's over, I'm already like 6 beers deep just watching some of those games. Why are those games in Sacramento so fun to watch? They're so fun to watch on TV.
They're like... It gives me the feeling of like going to your hometown AAA baseball game and you're like, just grab a spot behind home plate that you got for $8. Grab a dog. Oh, man.
Watch Nick Kurtz hit a 470-foot bomb into center field. It's fantastic. Let us know what you think in the comments, guys. Where do you think each team is going to land in the AL West? It's going to be a good year. That's all I got.
What an ending. Join us next time. Next episode, we'll be breaking down the AL Central.
Really good division, guys. AL Central, watch out.
Don't want to miss that one. Woo!